It is the early hours of the night. The circus is packing up after its afternoon show. Russ, an employee, is gathering his things when hears the honking of carrier trucks in the parking lot. An elderly man is standing confused in the truck's way. Russ and the circus manager, Charlie, ask the old man to move out of the parking lot. Russ offers to call his care home to pick him up. The old man gets irritable and snaps at him for insisting. He says he isn't from any care home. He is on his own and wanted to see the circus. Charlie tells him that the show was in the afternoon and they are packing now. The old man looks sad at missing it. He finally comes around and moves out of the parking area to sit inside a cabin with Charlie. Charlie tries to reach out to the old man's care home, but it isn't going through. The old man seems to dislike going back to his care home. He feels lonely there. He has 5 kids, but they visit him only on weekends. While Charlie makes calls, the old man looks at framed photos hanging on the cabin wall. He claims to be part of the Benzini brothers and Ringling brothers, which are famous circuses in America. The Benzini brothers suffered a disaster in 1931 and ended. The old man's eyes well up when Charlie shows him a photo of the Benzini brothers' circus. It shows a beautiful young lady performing with an elephant. Charlie senses that the old man has a story to tell. He offers him a drink and a seat. The old man calls himself Jacob Jankowski. He looks relieved when Charlie says he won't call the care home. Charlie wants to know what happened to the Benzini brothers in 1931. In a flashback, we see young Jacob living with his loving parents in Ithaca. They are immigrants from Poland. Jacob's father is a veterinary doctor. These are the days of the Great Depression. But Jacob's family is doing fine so far. Jacob is a final-year student of veterinary sciences at the prestigious Cornell University. He is 1 exam away from graduating. Today is the final exam. He is looking forward to a successful career waiting for him. But his world is going to come crashing down. He is writing the exam in the university hall when he is informed about his parents losing their lives in a car accident. He is too devastated to finish his final exam. His father had their house as a mortgage to take a huge loan from the bank for Jacob's education. Jacob has been unaware of it. The bank now owns the house since his father wasn't able to pay the loan off. He had been offering his services as a vet mostly free of charge for people in need. Jacob packs his suitcase and leaves the house that isn't his anymore. He is hopeful of getting work in Albany, so he heads there on foot. Midway, he realizes he can never make it. A train is passing by. He runs to board it. His suitcase drops. He clings onto the train latch and manages to climb in its boxcar. Before he can get his bearings, a strong hand grabs him from behind and makes him stand. There are people in the boxcar. The sturdy man, Blackie, tightens his grip on Jackin's neck. He thinks he is a robber. Someone called Grady has taken out his pistol. An elderly man with a kind face appraises Jacob's gentlemanly dress and asks Blackie to let him loose, assuring him that the boy is no robber. Blackie reluctantly lets go of Jacob. The kind man introduces himself as Camel. He is Polish too and cheers knowing Jacob is too. He asks Jacob to grab some sleep. Jacob wakes up the next morning. The train has come to rest. It is the Benzini brothers' circus. They have stopped their train for a show. The performers are getting off the train. The workers are unloading animal cages and setting up canopies. There is racket and liveliness everywhere. Being a vet, he does possess an interest in animals. There are lions, leopards, giraffes, and whatnot. Jacob looks in awe at everything around him as if this is exactly what he needed in such desperate times. Camel has found work for Jacob. He has to clean animal dung. And when the show will start, his job is to keep freeloaders at bay. Jacob would do anything to survive, so he did all he was asked to without any complaint. The first time Jacob sees Marlena Rosenbluth is before her performance. She readies her horses. One of her horses, Silver, doesn't look in his form. Jacob offers to take a look at him. But the act is starting, so there is no time. Marlena with her horses is one of the special performances in the Benzini brothers' circus. Jacob watches her performance and is truly enchanted like every other spectator. She knows what she is doing. The show is over. The circus gets on its train and off to a new location. Camel makes Jacob familiar with circus jargon and gives him tips to adjust to life at the circus. He takes Jacob to meet the boss, August Rosenbluth. Marlena is his wife. August resides in one of the luxurious compartments on the train. He wants his circus to match the success of the contemporary famous Ringling Brothers circus. Jacob has his first interaction with August. August doesn't think an amateur like Jacob can be of any use in the rough and tough life of the circus. Jacob can't help but speak his mind. His education and confidence shine, but August wants him off the train. Jacob says he is a vet from Cornell University and he knows the circus' precious horse Silver is ill. August can see that a vet from a well-reputed university will surely be helpful for circus animals. He decides to keep him and asks him to get Silver healthy again in time before the next show. He lets Jacob share a room with a special performer, Walter, in a better compartment. Walter is a dwarf and is nicknamed Kinko. He isn't welcoming towards his new roommate, nor is his dog. The next morning, August introduces Jacob to Marlena as the circus' new vet. Jacob takes a look at Silver's hoof and says it is pretty serious. Silver will not survive much longer. It has laminitis, an incurable hoof injury. It is in a lot of pain. The only option is euthanasia. August listens calmly and looks as if he understands the gravity of the problem. He doesn't want Marlena to know the truth as she is deeply attached to her horses. August asks Jacob to help him feed the lions. Jacob is scared. He musters the courage to lift the cage window to slide in the meat. The lion bites his hand. He falls on his back. August laughs at him and tells him that a circus continues its show even if its men and animals are hurt. He doesn't care if Silver is ailing. It will perform till its last breath. Hungry men need more concern than sick circus animals. He spits. Jacob goes to check on Silver. Marlena is there, patting poor Silver. She has realized the disease Silver has and the suffering it is going through. She knows August will not let it rest and will make it do the acts. Jacob can't see an animal suffering like this. The next thing we see is August's thugs about to shove Jacob off the running train. It is a routine thing on this train. Blackie throws workers off the train on August's order. It can be a penalty or it can be to downsize in times of less money. Jacob has deprived August of his special horse and he must be punished. But he lets him stay alive, for many reasons. He doesn't want to be blamed if the circus doesn't earn well in the next show. The workers will blame Jacob instead for euthanizing Silver, which would have brought in money. The 1930s were bad times. Many circuses ended. The workers would quit because of low wages or the bosses would elope with all the money. The Benzini brothers are almost bankrupt too. August brings new hope for the circus to thrive. He has purchased a female elephant, Rosie, for the circus. August assigns Jacob the task of taming Rosie. He wants Marlena to ride Rosie to the performances. Jacob and Marlena pat Rosie affectionately. Rosie seems to enjoy whiskey and music. She plays with Jacob with her trunk. Marlena climbs over Rosie using the ladder to get familiar. She knows nothing about elephants, but August doesn't care. He once made her perform an act with monkeys while they bit her through the act. August will go to any length to earn. August and Marlena have invited Jacob over supper to celebrate in the name of Rosie. August lends Jacob his tux for the occasion. August narrates how he started Benzini Brothers and made it thrive despite its dwindling chances. Jacob spills the truth about his veterinary degree. He doesn't have one as he missed his final exam. August and Marlena aren't mad at him for lying to them. They say that the circus is a pretense in itself, so whatever little talent one has can work fine. 3 of them drink. August dances with Marlena. He holds her aggressively in his drunkenness. She calms him and puts him to bed. Jacob is slightly drunk and sees Marlena embarrassed. He starts to leave, but Marlena asks him to dance with her. Walter has now warmed towards Jacob because Jacob has helped him with his sick dog. Jacob and Marlena are with Rosie when August arrives there. He says Rosie needs to be trained with force. He doesn't believe love can teach an animal. He gives Jacob a cane with a sharp-pointed blade at one end. He asks Jacob to poke Rosie with it to make it follow the command. Jacob is nervous and reluctant. He pokes Rosie softly. August gets impatient. He snatches the spear from Jake. They suffer in silence. Later that night, they go to Rosie to clean her wounds. The Benzini brothers have landed a show to display. It is the first time Rosie will be brought to the spotlight. The spectators look praisingly at Marlena riding a grand elephant. August commands Rosie with the spear every now and then. Rosie gets irritated and raises her front legs. It scares the spectators. Rosie runs out of the arena. Marlena saves herself by clasping onto a curtain rod. Marlena saves the day by doing an acrobatic move around the rod as if this fiasco was part of the act. August looks relieved. Jacob smiles proudly at the efficiency of Marlena. Jacob and Camel follow the eloped Rosie. She has gone into the town market. They grab a bucket of whiskey to lure her back to her abode in the circus. August is furious at Rosie for almost ruining his show. He grabs the spear. Marlena requests August to stop, but he wouldn't. Blackie holds Jacob back from stopping August. August finishes taking out his needless anger and goes back to his compartment. Jacob is in tears seeing Rosie fall down in pain. She is bleeding. Jacob picks up the spear and rushes with the intention to stab August. He enters the compartment to find August sitting with his head in his hands. He is weeping as Marlena isn't talking to him about what he did. He says he has invested so much of his money into Rosie. All the workers will starve if she doesn't perform well. Jacob lowers the spear. At that moment, August kind of realizes what Jacob intended to do. Jacob asks August to let Rosie have whiskey. She needs to sleep to feel better. August let him take all of it. Camel and Jacob accidentally discover that Rosie understands Polish. She will obey if one would instruct her in Polish. They inform August and ask him to experiment by reading instructions written in Polish. August is ecstatic seeing Rosie respond. August takes Marlena and Jacob to enjoy this success at a champagne party. August is happiest tonight. He goes to get more champagne. Marlena tells Jacob not to believe that August will always treat Rosie kindly. Rosie might end up like Silver if Rosie fails to perform at any point. August is happy as long as he is made to be happy. Jacob asks Marlena why she sticks to such a vicious man. Marlena tells him her life story. She never knew who her parents were. She was given up at the time of her birth. She grew up in foster homes until she saw a circus and chose to be part of it. She always had a thing for horses. She met August in the circus and married him. The circus is her life now. She doesn't know where else to go. Jacob says she can have a better life. She smiles at him and asks him to dance with her. They sway together in each other's arms. All of a sudden, police raid the place. Probably it is because of prohibition in the 1930s. The party debacles. Everybody runs to escape the police. August is nowhere to be seen in the crowd. Marlena and Jacob hide behind drums. There they have their first kiss. They aren't proud of it. Camel is sick. He has a paralyzed leg. It is Jake's leg due to excessive drinking of Jamaican ginger extract. Walter, Grady, and Wade tend to him. They inform Jacob, who decides to hide Camel in the room with him and Walter. The circus will be doing a show and reading, where Camel's son stays. Camel will go to him then. But till then he needs to stay hidden, otherwise August will have Blackie throw him off the train since he can't work and is a burden now. There are rumors on the train that several workers have already been thrown off secretly because of a shortage of money to pay them. And there is truth in these rumors. After the kiss at the time of the raid, Marlena and Jacob try their best to act coolly. August does look suspicious of them. He is a jealous and possessive man. He is going to hide his suspicion but will keep on giving subtle hints that he is aware of betrayal and deception. Jacob is terrified. He knows how dangerous August can be. For many days to come, the circus does very well. Rosie has become their good luck star. August is normal and happy. Marlena stays a loyal, dutiful wife. She also has learned her way around an elephant and performs to perfection, receiving applause. August one day gathers everybody and toasts Jacob for joining the circus accidentally and bringing good luck along. Everybody cheers for Jacob. That evening, Marlena plans to surprise August with a small private celebration in the name of the good times the circus is having. She brings in champagne and asks Jacob to tie Rosie near their tent. Marlena is dressed up in a cocktail dress for the occasion. Jacob helps her with uncorking the champagne bottle when August arrives. He misunderstands everything and thinks Marlena is having a secret party with Jacob. Marlena tries to explain it to him, but he continues to humiliate both. He calls Marlena a woman of bad character. She can't take it anymore and slaps him. He hits her back. Jacob pins him down to the ground and punches him. They wrestle. Blackie and the other workers pull them apart. August stops because he can't show his vile side to the workers like that. His crimes must stay hidden and he does away with people in the dark. Walter drags Jacob to the room where Wade, Gardy, and Camel calm him. The train sets off. Marlena comes to inform Jacob that Blackie is coming for him, so he must jump off the train to save himself. Marlena jumps off the train with him. They go to stay in a hotel nearby for the night. They kiss and make love. The next morning, they wake up with the hope that life is going to be okay now. Jacob will complete his degree. They will join Ringling Brothers. All of a sudden, the hotel room door is forced open. August's thugs enter and beat Jacob unconscious. They take Marlena back to August forcefully. Jacob gains consciousness. He leaves the hotel and sets off on foot to nowhere. He finds the Benzini brothers' train and hops on it without being seen. He goes to Walter's room but no one is there. He takes out his knife and enters August's compartment. Augustus is fast asleep. Marlena is lying by his side. She is awake. Jacob holds the knife near Augustus to slit his throat. Marlena gestures at him not to do so. He drops it and leaves. The next morning, Marlena finds him sleeping hidden on the train. The train is stopping soon for a show. Jacob asks her about Walter and Camel. They had been thrown off the train. So were Grady and Wade for helping Jacob and Marlena escape. Walter and Camel hit the rocks and expired. Wade and Grady are planning to take down August. Marlena asks Jacob to leave for his safety. He says he will take her along. She will perform her act and then sneak out to escape with Jacob. She promises she will do so. The show starts. Marlena is performing on Rosie. Jacob is near the canopies, waiting for her. He sees Wade and Grady opening the cages of all the animals. The carnivores go wild and barge into the tents. The spectators panic. Hell has broken loose in the circus. Jacob runs for Marlena, who is riding Rosie and looks terrified. Jacob makes his way through the hysteric crowd to save her. August comes charging towards him and knocks him down. August thrashes him madly. Marlena gets off Rosie and hits August with the cane from behind. August leaves Jacob to strangle her with the cane. Jacob gets on his feet to rescue her when Blackie overpowers him. Marlena struggles for her life while August chokes her with the cane. She is about to lose her life when Rosie uproots her hitching post and smashes it against August's head. He passes away then and there. Blackie has taken out his knife to slay Jacob. Wade and Grady knock him down and drag him out. No one knows what they did to him afterwards. Maybe it made him taste his own medicine. Marlena runs into Jacob's arms. They left with Rosie. That was the last show of the Benzini brothers. Jacob finishes his degree and joins Ringling Brothers as a vet. Ringling Brothers also take Marlena in. They get married and name their first child, Walter. After leaving Ringling Brothers, Jacob would work as a vet for a zoo in Albany. He and Marlena would rear horses and own a house. Rosie would reside with them until the end of her life. Jacob is done telling his story to Charlie now. Marlena has passed away. Jacob is content that he did give her a better life, the one he promised to her. He asks Charlie to make a judgment. Will he send Jacob back to the care home or hire him as a vet for his circus? Jacob needs to rejuvenate his life with a purpose, and the circus is what he loves the most. It has been his life and his home. Charlie knows what to do. He is for sure going to make the right choice. He will take the veteran of the circus in.